everyone, Karen here, and today we're going to be making a Shadowbox card. Now before we get started, I want you to notice there's another camera over here. Now, this is something I wanted to try out. I wasn't sure if it was going to be distracting having the two cameras, but we'll see how it goes in this one. Give me your opinion, see what you think. So to make this Shadowbox card, we're going to need 3 5x7s. We're going to need 2 4x5s, which we're going to score every ½ inch. We're going to need 2 nesting dies. Now I use 2 nesting dies in a row here, so I'm going to have a thin frame. But there's nothing stopping you from skipping a nesting die, going down one more to make a larger frame for what we're going to do. I'm going to be using the Karen Burniston Spring Animals, and I had some left from a project before, so I'm going to use these. So she has these little chicks and little bunnies. And then there are little baskets and eggs, and it's a cute little set. Now I also have some flowers from Crafter's Companion, and I have a gate from Crafter's Companion. So that's what I'm going to do there. So let's get started by scoring the 4x5, and then we'll go ahead and we'll cut the frame. Alright, so we are going to put this in the scoreboard along the 4-inch side, and we are going to score this every ½ inch. So 1/2, 1, we're going to go 1.5, 2, 2.5, 3, and 3.5. All right, let me get the scoreboard out of the way. Alright, so now we're going to fold this first with a mountain, and then a valley, and then alternate all the way across until we get to the end. Alright, then these are going to go on the outside of our card. Alright, for the frame, now you want to just take your 2 nesting dies and make sure you have an equal space all the way around. You definitely want to tape these down. And that moved a little bit. Let me get this straight. Alright. That looks good. And now I'm going to run it through my machine. Alright, so let's see what we have. So now we have a nice frame. I'll keep this. You could probably use that for something else. Alright, so let's bring in our 3 5x7s and the nesting dies. We no longer need the bigger die. We only want to cut the hole in the smaller one, using the smaller one. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take one of these pieces of paper. I'll say that's the top. And we're going to line this up. We're going to decide where we want to put our little greeting here on the bottom. And that will get lined up in the middle. And I'm kind of looking to see if this and this is all the same. So the top and the 2 sides, I want that to all kind of be the same. So we'll put that here, and we'll tape this down. Now I need this to go through 2 of the 3 pieces of paper, so I'm going to take 2 of the pieces, and I'm going to tape them together. So I'm just going to line them all up like this. I am going to take a piece of tape across here, and put it there. And this tape is the Post-it low-tack tape. I like this a lot. And I'm going to put one on the top also, just to make sure these 2 pieces of paper don't go sliding around on me. Now I'm going to put this through my machine just like this. Alright, so let's see what we have now. So let's pull up all the tape. Alright, so now we have 2 papers with the aperture in the same exact spot. It's exactly what we need. Don't worry, that's not the paper ripping, it's the tape ripping. Alright, so these are the 2 for the front and the middle, and this will be the one in the back. And we don't need this, and we don't need this. Alright, so now we'll see. Let's deal with the front piece here, and we'll put the frame on here. So now you'll see the frame is going to sit just like this. So use your favorite glue. Put some glue on the back. And let's line this up. You just want to make sure all your paper is covered. So just kind of wiggle it into place. And it will be like this. Let's see, like that. So now we are all set. Alright, so there's our front. This one will be the middle. I'm not going to bother to put a frame on that one. And this one will be our back. Alright, let's bring in our tray and let's talk about the back piece that we did not cut through. So this is going to be the back of our card. So you have two choices here. You can either use the print on the inside of the card, or you can flip it over, do some inking on this side, and that way the back of your card will have the print. Originally, I was going to use the white as the back of the card, but now that I'm thinking about it, I think I'm going to ink this. So let me grab some blue ink. Let me grab a piece of scrap paper here. And I think I'm going to ink this whole thing blue. I think I'm going to make it like sky. It's kind of an audible here. You don't have to make it really blue. Just enough blue here. And this is Gina K powder blue. I like this color for sky. Then I also like to put in some of this sea glass. That also looks really nice. Put a little bit of teal in the sky with the blue, and it looks nice. Now let's see how much of this we need to cover. That looks about right. So let me cover this, and let me put a little bit of the teal in here. I think I may go with the darker teal. Yeah, I think I'm going to go with Ocean Mist. Let me bring in Ocean Mist. And just put a little bit of that in here. You can just see it really does kind of give you a little bit of depth to your skies. You have the two different shades in there. Alright, I'm not sure what's rattling over there on the desk. Alright, that should be good. So let's see. Oh yeah, that's going to look fine. So let's take a close look at this. So it still has to dry, but you can see by putting the two different colors in there, it really does give your sky a little bit more depth. Okay, so now we're going to attach the sides. Now I definitely want to have the pattern to the outside of the card. Alright, so we're going to put these down here, starting on the bottom. We're going to put glue along here. We are going to match this up with the edge. Let me lift this up so I can see it a little bit better. So that edge there, this edge here, just like that. So now that will show to the outside of our card. Just like that. I'll let that dry for a second. So now let's do the other side. Same thing. Make sure we're all nice and folded. Glue. Match up to the bottom corner. Just like that. So this should be nice and flush across here. Alright, so now when this opens up, let's look what we have here. So this is going to get attached to the front. So we have 2 points in the middle that we're going to end up having. So I'm going to attach the middle sheet right in between the 2 points here. That's where that's going to go. Now I want to make sure this folds flat, because when you put the creases in here, it does bring the card in just a hair. So what I'm going to do is get my trimmer. And I am going to take just the smallest hair off of each side. We'll line it up at the bottom so it's flush. And I am just going to take, I'm talking this much off of each side. And this will just make sure that my card is going to lay flat. It's going to fold flat, and it's not going to bunch up in the middle. Just the tiniest little piece. There you go. Basically, you want to take off the thickness of the score line, because that's what you're losing. All right, tray back in. Here's our middle piece. So now I'm only going to attach one side of this, so it will be easier to put the pieces on the back. All right, so let's look here, make sure we're attaching to the right spot. So this is going to get attached to the front. So we have 2 points pointing to the inside. So we're going to put our paper right in here. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We're going to put glue on the 5th panel. And I'm only going to put glue on this one side because I want it to have a flap as I'm putting everything in. Now I will put that flush into the corner. Make sure I'm flush with the bottom of the card. And push that down, make sure we're all nice and straight. And there we go. Okay, so now we have a flap that we can work with here. So let me give that a second to grab while I get my little pieces here. So the first thing I want to put down is my grass. So I think this bigger piece of grass here, that's the longer grass, I want to put here on this piece. So I'm going to go ahead and put that on. And then I can decide where I want to place the other grass. Because I wanted to put this across the bottom here. Like that. That's a little crooked. Bring that up a little higher. Oops. Yeah, I like that. Okay. So now I need to figure out where I want to put my other grass. So I'm going to lay this in here. Oh, that's a little wide. Let me trim this. Alright, so this grass piece I trimmed it to 4.5 to get it to fit in here a little bit better. So I'm thinking it needs to go about here. So let's see. Because I want it to cover the bottom here. So I think right about here. So I'm going to take a pencil. And I'm just going to put a little mark here where I want to glue it. So I'm going to open my flap. Put some glue on the back here. And I'm going to lay this down. Right where I put my pencil mark. Right across here. Alright, so now I have some land for my little bunnies to go on. Oops. And I'm going to put a little crease in it, since that's where the fold is. There we go. Now let's take a peek at what this is going to look like. Make sure we're happy with it before it dries. Alright, that should be good. Now if you want to, you can trim these little ends off if you want, if they're going to bother you. I think this end I may trim off here. Just a little bit more. There we go. Alright, now let's come in on the other side. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and put some glue on this side. And see if I can do this without getting my hands in the glue. Hold that down. Put the other side of the paper in there. Fold it down, fold it down. You want to make sure at this point everything's going to be nice and flat. There we go. Alright. look, make sure we don't want more grass or anything there. I think that's good. I think we're doing good here. All right, so now let's look at the bunnies. So I think I want to put the fence, see, because I have a fence piece here. I think I want to put the fence behind the bunnies. So I think I will glue these in now. Probably could have done this before I glued that down. Let me turn this sideways. I will put one piece of grass, one fence piece over here. And put some glue on the other side. And we'll put the other piece of fence in. And I'm just going to line it up to where the little knobbies on the end of the fence line up. Make it look like one big piece of fence. And there's probably going to be something in front of that, so I'm not too concerned about that. Alright, so now we have this. So now I have, let me move that out of the way for a second. I have 2 bunnies and a chick. So when you cut these out, what Karen Burniston does is the rabbit, all the gray is one piece. Then you can see she has a piece to do the ears. There's a white piece that tucks under the arms, but the face is a stencil that is cut into the dies. You can see here. So when you die cut it out, you can just use a marker or colored pencil, whatever you want, and you can draw the face in, which is kind of nice. Alright, so this one already has a basket, but the other 2 don't have baskets yet. So let's put baskets. So this guy, I think what I want to do is do it this way. So his basket's hanging that way. The other bunny will have a basket in the other arm. So we're going to get really close so you can see here. So you slide this under his arm and you just glue it down. So now it looks like he's holding his basket. Alright, now the chick, we'll put his basket in the middle. So I'm just going to put a little bit of glue on his belly. And then I will slide the basket in. Just like that. Let that glue set up for a second. Okay. So now the little chick is holding the basket. And yes, the eggs are tiny, but there's a die that cuts out several of them at the same time. That's this die here. You can see it cuts out 3 at a time. So that makes it go a little bit faster. Alright, so now we can decide how we want these guys to sit in here. So I think the chick will be in the middle, and the 2 bunnies on either side of him. So let's go ahead and put some glue on him. So I don't think, you know what, changing my mind, another audible, I'm going to put these guys on foam. I wasn't going to put any foam, but I think I want to. Put some foam on each one of these. Little bunny and his little bunny friend. Now she does have another set of animals that does have a sheep. If you would like a lamb for Easter too. And actually I just ordered that one. It will come in a couple of days. Alright, so let me hold this like this. So he needs to go on the ground. Here's Mr. Chicky Chicky and Mr. Bunny Bunny. Let's see, he'll go over here. Like that. And Mr. Bunny Bunny's friend will be on the other side. Alright, so that's coming along. So now we have that. Alright, so now I have these 3 little eggs that I can put on here. So let me grab my little picker tool here because they are tiny. So I'm thinking, let's see, how much are you going to see when I put the front on here? So I think I will put a little dab of glue, one here in the middle, and one over here. And I have 2 yellow eggs and a pink one, so I'll put a yellow here, a yellow one over here, and the pink one will go in the middle. Yep, see, I shouldn't have touched that. Alright, so we have those there. Alright, so now we're ready to attach the front. So we're going to put glue down this side, put glue down this side, and this will go on the top. We'll line up that, and press down, line up this side, making sure it's flush, and press down. Make sure your card will fold flat. Go. Slide that in a little. There we go. So now we have our box card. So now for the front, we have our Happy Easter, which I think I will put on a little bit of foam. Okay, so now I'm going to press down so I can make sure this is straight. And put that about here. There we go. So now we have that. So I do have these flowers from Crafter's Companion. And I was thinking maybe I would put them here and here. Like this. I think I will, and I think those will just get glued flat. So that's going to get glued here, so I just want to put glue on these 2 flowers and on those leaves. This will go in here. And we'll do the same thing on this side. We'll just put glue on here and on the leaves. And slide this in here. Just want to make sure your flowers don't overhang your card on the side here. Alright, so now the front of the card is all done. So now it's time to do the back. So I'm going to put the messaging on the back of the card. So let's see. So originally I was going to use the 3, the 3 1/4, and the 3 1/2. But now that I've decided to put the pattern on the back, I think I'm just going to use the 3 and the 3 1/4. So let me glue these together. This will just go in the middle. Let me line that up a little bit straighter. That is really crooked. There you go, that's a little better. Alright, put some more glue on the back. And in case you're wondering, this paper is Crafter's Companion. It's a Nature's Garden set from a few years ago called Woodland Friends. That's where this paper came from. So there we have it, all finished. That will just need a moment to dry and get nice and flat here. Make sure we're not warping the paper. There we go. Alright, little box card. 5x7 box card. So if you like this card, give me a thumbs up, because it is indeed how YouTube counts everything. And until next time, stay crafty.